Hello, my name is David Kittrell. Me and my wife own Kittrell Industrial Supply in Petal, Mississippi. Kittrell Industrial Supply was basically a dream I had for a long time. I was in the auto parts industry and wanted to get into the hardware business, and I went to work with one of the corporate industrial supply places. Loved the business, hated the company. So I started looking for a way to open our own. I wandered into the SBDC in Laurel and met Gary Sudeth, and he knew the ins and outs and how to handle them. So he just had me take the paperwork, and then Gary took that and ran with it. Gary sort of closed the gap between me and the banks and showed me, okay, you need this, you need this. And he went to the bank, and before it was all over with, they were totally on board. And as a matter of fact, now the bank that I was dealing with, they use the SBDC quite a bit. You know, from what I understand, talking to the president of the bank where I was at, he says they do it all the time now, where they had never done it before. So it was sort of like the pioneering stage for that. So I knew that the business was going to do well, but I didn't realize how well it was going to take off. But with the SBDC getting involved, the business has quadrupled from the time I started. And the inventory growth I was able to grow that business because I had the accessibility, because SBDC was there to help me get everything going with that. So I had the extra funds. It's like the old baseball show goes, if you build it, they will come. This has been my field of dreams. We're different from corporate. You know, you get a lot of corporate places that sell industrial supplies. We're different in the aspect that we give customer service that they can't get anywhere else. And I love that part. My employees, they know all the customers, they have time to speak with the customers and work with the customers. It becomes a hub of knowledge, what my people know, what we know, what I know as far as helping people to where they can say, I know where I can find this, or I know who can help me figure this out, and they come here. We give a lot of advice around here. We don't just think of a customer as a person that walks to the front door. They're our friends.
Well, I stepped into this scene when Gary, his former counselor who was doing other things, directed. It was my great fortune that Gary directed Dave back to the SBDC office when we hit a tangle with a tax report. So we spent one entire afternoon working, crunching your numbers and working, and I was not happy with how quickly you were getting back your information monthly, and you're keeping up with your discipline on your inventory and your expenses and so on. And so we worked on getting that sharpened up. And in a few months, it was just so gloriously wonderful. Things were stacking up. You had a really good solid year. Capital improvements assisted, the new accounting discipline assisted, and then we were able to feature Dave as an SBA star feature success story. Fantastic client, you know, definitely does his own thing, but keeps in mind our counsel and realizes it comes from the heart. It's the truth from the heart, and so that's been what's been, and we razz, tease, and haze each other.
Oh yeah.
So,
gotta give her a hard time.
100%.
Gotta harass.
Don is part of our elevated programs for small to medium businesses called our Rise Center, and a financial specialist. And you and he hit it off.
Yeah.
And so the rest is history.
If I were to give an up-and-coming entrepreneur any kind of advice at all, research. Learning what you're getting into, learning where you're putting your money, and how it's going, and know how it's going to grow. Don't just speculate. Know how your money's going to grow. The information that's provided by the SBDC is priceless, in my opinion. SBDC can give you anything that you want, any kind of information you want as far as the demographics. They can give you the inventory. They can give you again, like I was talking about earlier, they can give you the percentages, the operating percentages of what you need to have, stuff that you just don't get, but yet the people at SBDC have that information, all that information right there at their disposal, and they're more than happy to give it.